All right, good game, good battle. Obviously a unique circumstance of tying a football game, but our locker room was happy and excited, and our guys played really, really well down the stretch, made some big-time plays, big-time opportunities, really good lessons for our guys throughout this game, starting fast, getting better from that standpoint, and we'll just keep growing. Any questions?
Do you think there is still time left on the clock?
We were hoping, yeah, give everyone what they wanted, which was 1 second, but it didn't happen.
How do you feel in terms of what you saw from both quarterbacks today, but specifically Spencer Rattler bouncing back at the end?
Yeah, I think that was a big moment and opportunity for him to have that great drive going down the field. You throw an interception and have to respond, and he responded really, really well. Put the team in excellent position, did a great job with situational football in that 2-minute drive. His ability to play with his feet, came up in a number of situations, and I just thought our guys did a really good job in that 2 minute just handling and understanding what the situation was.
Was that a tough decision, who to put in at quarterback on that drive, or did you know, given the situation, you wanted to give Spencer a shot?
Yeah, it was tricky because obviously the one downfall to how this game played out was we just had less drives, and Jake didn't get a chance to go in there, which we certainly wanted him to get in there. But I thought it was important just from an evaluation standpoint on Spence. Just those are critical moments. You have a tough situation, you got to respond.
Have you narrowed this quarterback battle down to Spencer Rattler and Tyler Stafford?
We're just going to keep building through this process, and we think we got 3 really good ones here, and we'll continue to build.
Do you think that decision could come this week before the last preseason game, or do you think it's going to?
We'll see. Obviously I got first sight here, but film will be an important aspect of this thing, and we'll just see how everything progresses leading into this week.
Were you hoping though to have your mind made up before a third preseason game?
Not necessarily. Sooner always is better, but these guys are competing, and they're giving us everything that we can ask, and so we'll continue to evaluate.
What would you need to see in your review of this game to feel comfortable saying this is the first?
Yeah, just the decision making in the process, and just making sure we're going through the right situation, understanding the circumstances of the game. There are contexts you got to go understand what the quarterback's going through. But again, this is an evaluation phase for these guys, just like so many other positions on our team, and so the film's going to be really important.
Kevin, do you expect the quarterback competition to be this close when training camp begins?
Yeah, all these QBs aren't making this easy because I think they're all doing a really good job, and they're all having their days, and they're taking advantage of opportunities, and so it's an evaluation, and we'll take it where it needs to go.
Kellen, let's talk about Mason Tipton, especially the job he did on that last drive.
Yeah, he's just done a phenomenal job since the first day we all got here collectively as a staff to see what he just continues to do day in and day out, his work ethic, his habits. He made a bunch of big plays, felt like when we needed a play, he was there. And even for him, facing adversity with the interception, because he was the one running the route. And so, we just think the world of him. He's progressing in such an awesome way. And again, like any of these guys, when you take advantage of opportunities, more come your way, and he's just following that trend line.
Have you seen Torricelli Simpkins take advantage of the opportunities you guys are giving him?
He's played a ton of reps through 2 preseason games, and it's been incredible to see. The moment's never too big for him. I think that's the cool thing is he's hopped into some situations where he's played early in these games, earlier than anticipated. Played against some challenging opponents, and he just hops in there and plays ball, and so we're really excited with what he's building.
What do you like about his game?
I think just consistency, and I think the most important thing is his play style. We love how physical he plays, how aggressive he plays. It's not all perfect. It's not expected to be perfect at this stage of his career, but his play style is everything we want.
Do you guys need to have like a dress rehearsal type game before going into the season where everybody plays?
We'll see how we're going to build this thing out this week, and we'll see where it is. We'll have 3 practices. We'll have the game against Denver on Saturday. So I think we're setting up ourselves for a really good work week this week to kind of build, and we'll see how that Saturday plays out.
I know you haven't reviewed the tape and everything like that yet, but what was your understanding of what happened on Spencer's interception? He looked like he expected something different.
Yeah, it was a slant, and there was a little bit of a traffic situation for Mason, and the corner made a phenomenal play. He jumped it. He made a phenomenal play. Obviously, something for us to look at. We ran a similar play a couple times, and so maybe one too many. But I thought the kid made a phenomenal play, and Mason kind of got stuck in a little bit of a traffic jam where he wasn't able to finish through the route. So it was a challenging situation.
When something like that happens, I mean, how much do you put on a quarterback? Does he have time to recognize that, or that's a timing throw? And
it's a tricky one. I think we'll evaluate it and see truly what the picture looked like. But in the moment, felt like he gave us a good opportunity by making that throw. It was a single high look, and we had 2 over 2. And again, the corner made a really good play.
What was your message to him after that? Did you say anything to him on the sideline after that pick?
Yeah, it's just all about how we respond. We have a big-time opportunity. We're still down 8. Our defense made a big-time stop there, put us in a position to go battle for a tie, and it was really fun to see those guys respond.
And I know you talked about the few amount of drives factored into Jake not playing today,
Yeah.
but did the fact that drive by Spencer end with a pick factor into him going back out there again to maybe end on a high note?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's critical that when these guys go through those situations, it's a big time moment of how do you respond. That's what we evaluate these guys all the time on. And so, it was a goofy situation. It was tricky. I would have loved for Jake to have been in there, but I felt like it was important for us from an evaluation standpoint. Yeah. I think he's fine. We got a few guys that kind of got a little banged up, but we'll get the reports and we'll see how the week goes.
What is it about that second quarterback that goes in and just plays more aggressively?
Yeah, it's a great question. I don't have the answer to that one, but I think for our whole team, I think just playing a little bit faster earlier in the game. We got to play faster. We got to open up first quarter, play better. That'll be something for us to learn, especially a noon kickoff. You got to be ready to rock and roll, and so we'll grow in that aspect.
In the first quarter, it looks like the Jaguars had gotten to the right side of the line with that stunt twice on the intentional grounding on the sack. I know the Rams were having some success with that. Is that an easy fix? Is that a communication between the two guys thing?
I'd say it's something we definitely have to evaluate and we have to get better because line movement exists in this league. It's a challenge. It's hard for offensive linemen. There was a pressure, I know for sure, on one of them with a safety. But movement happens. We got to be able to respond to it, and it's being all coordinated and being on the same page.
How much do you show? How much do you actually show your hand in the preseason?
Yeah, we're obviously conscious of that. We want to give our guys an excellent opportunity to be successful. We don't want to shortchange them in any way. There's naturally some things that we'll continue to build and kind of wait for the regular season to.
So, when you're evaluating quarterbacks, is there an element of beyond seeing we could do this to help him in this spot, that you also add into the how does that factor into the evaluation? Well, maybe you aren't doing everything.
There's a few game management items that just come up that, hey, we may play out a situation a little bit different based off of a regular season game. But for the most part, we're competing. We're playing ball. Schematically, there's a few items that maybe you don't do during the regular season that we'll or during the preseason that we do in the regular season. But, I think these guys are going out there and competing.
During the week, talked about how much y'all really harped on situational football, so to see everything unfold in the 2-minute drive on both sides of the ball. How impressed were you with that?
It was awesome. It's just a good example of our guys of taking walkthroughs to practice to games and the stuff that goes into that, because there's situations every single Sunday that sometimes you get one shot of in an August walkthrough that's ultimately going to come up, and we played out a couple of those right at the end, and for those guys to be on the same page, understand what play was coming, what the situation was, what would have to be the response based off of the clock. I thought our guys just did an awesome job.
How would you evaluate the running game today?
Yeah, running game, I think, we just continue to feel like, there's more out there. I think our play style is getting better. Our finish is getting better. But, we got to get better in that aspect.
Kellen, obviously this was a tie. But the way it ended, does this feel like you won?
I felt like our guys just loved how we faced adversity and we met the challenge. And, I think there's a lot of energy, a lot of juice. Our locker room, felt like a win in many ways, just from the standpoint of how it ended, that, we were put in a challenging situation. We fought ourselves back. Offense made some big-time plays there just to score. Defense had a great response. Sanker's pick was awesome. Everyone was hoping for the 1 second so we can, put Charlie out there for a winner, but it didn't happen.
Kellen, were you surprised the fans had vocal freedom decisions of playing in a preseason game?
Yeah, I'm going to get a few of those, so I get it. Those are always those fun challenges. Fourth down decision-making is what it is. Some you're going to love, some you're going to have to, bite the bullet, so to speak. And, I felt like our defense is playing really well. We're still in a one-score game, and so we punted, and, defense did another 3 and out, so it was good.
Is that decision also easier to make just in the punt unit out when you have a punter battle going on? Does that factor into the decision?
No. All game circumstance.
Did you try to call all your decisions as if it was a regular season game? Do you ever think, it's a preseason game, let's do this? Or did you try to?
There's just a couple items, but I think it's really good exercise for all of us, especially those end-of-game situations, the timeouts, playing defense in 4-minute mode, playing offense in 2-minute. Our defense just an awesome job at the end because they're right on field goal range. Their kicker just kicked a 70-yarder the last week, and so we were playing in a really good contested situation. Our guys did an excellent job of contesting the receivers and made a play.
The decision of Chris and Rashid active, obviously there's a lot of players who weren't. So
yeah. Yeah, just so Cooksey and Juwan played last week, and then we kind of had a plan of flip-flopping those guys, put Sheed and CO in this game, and I think just for them, just to get their self acclimated back into a game, short little instance, 8 to 12 plays, and so I think that puts them in position. They haven't played for a little while as well, and we'll see how the third preseason goes.
Yeah, Chris, this was his first game since the injury last year. Did that was that just helpful to kind of get out there?
I think it's good for any of these guys just to get out there and play the game, no matter the length that it is. We'll try and do that with as many guys as we can, but we'll see how this week progresses.
Kelvin Banks has been a big spot. What have you seen out of him in the first 2 games?
Kelvin's done a really nice job. When you add those two and a joint practice with the Rams, he's gotten some really good work now against 3 teams, different schemes, different exposures. He just needs all that. He just needs to keep responding the right way. I think that's the beauty of what the player that he is. He's going to do a ton of really good things for us, and when something doesn't go his way, he hops up and he's ready to play the next play, and so we're thinking he's heading in the right direction.
Kellen, how was it for you coaching the Dome? They're going to be home for a while now, all the way through the first 2 regular season home.
Yeah, this Dome is awesome, and the Caesar Superdome is our home, and we got to treat it like that, and it's going to be big time. It's going to take this entire community, our team, everyone rallying together. It's got to be a place that's a big time opportunity for us to win at home and control this place.
What do you think of the tackling overall? It seems like there were some missed tackles early on in the game.
Yeah, I took a note on it. Just it felt like there was a few opportunities where we could have tackled a couple. It felt like when one guy missed a tackle, it was like 3 or 4 in a couple instances, and so they caught a screen, missed a couple tackles there, and it turned into a big gain. And so something to keep an eye on.
With the limitations of tackling and practices and things like that, how do you go about addressing something like that this early?
Yeah, we'll evaluate it. There's obviously a lot of fundamentals associated with it that we can continue to build through practice, and so we just got to harp on it.